Joining me now, Wyoming Senator John Barrasso. He sits on the Foreign Relations Committee. He joins us now. Thank you for being here this morning, sir.
Thank you, Sandra.
A big decision looms with this deadline, May 12th, quickly approaching. The president seemed to indicate some sort of shift may be coming with the Iran deal, and he even hinted that Macron knows what that is.
Well, I think the president is absolutely right. It was a terrible deal, and Iran with a nuclear weapon makes the world less safe, less secure, less stable. They have been enriched and empowered by the deal. They've been using the money to sponsor terrorism. They're continuing to develop ballistic missiles. I think the president is absolutely right. We have to either fundamentally change the deal or get out of it.
The president issued a stern warning to Iran yesterday in that meeting. Listen.
They restart it, they're going to have big problems, bigger than they've ever had before.
If Iran threatens us in any way, they will pay a price like few countries have ever paid.
Multiple occasions, he mentioned that there will be a big price to pay.
Well, you know, the old story of Teddy Roosevelt used to be, speak softly and carry a big stick. President Trump speaks clearly and carries a big stick. We have the capacity to do the kind of things against Iran, and the president is committed to use it if necessary. We don't want that to happen. It's why we need to get Secretary of State confirmed with Mike Pompeo. But in terms of the French president being here, just remember, Sandra, it was the French who were wanting to be tougher in the Iran deal than John Kerry and President Obama in the last administration. The French were asking for much more, but the United States relented and asked a lot less. So I agree with the President of the United States, President Trump, and the President of France working together to get a much tougher deal.
Is it fair to say, Senator, that there's division within your own party over how to proceed with the Iran deal?
Well, I think we are unified at the fact that it was a bad deal to begin with. The question is, given this bad hand that we've been dealt, what do you do now? Look, we don't want Iran to develop nuclear weapons. We do not want the testing to continue with the ballistic missiles that Iran is doing. We know they're sponsoring terrorism. We are unified on that. The question is how to move forward. And my recommendation to the president is if we can't get a much better deal, it's time to get out.
Yeah, I mean, Senator Rand Paul, who was just here a few minutes ago, says that I think it's a bad idea to get out of the deal now. This was a multilateral deal, and the reasons sanctions work against Iran is because we were unified in negotiating the deal. So we're all left sort of wondering, as well, as we are about to hear from the French President Macron, sort of what his thinking is after meeting with the president for several days. And we know that he went into this, you know, with his exact feelings of how to proceed. So how do you think Macron influenced the president the past few days?
Well, if Macron is consistent with the French position in the past, it should have been a tougher deal to begin with. Germany Chancellor Merkel is going to be here this weekend again to talk to the president about it. Yeah. We are right in that we are better when we are unified, and it's up to President Trump to lead. He is leading. He's leading with strength and determination, and I think we're going to get to a good place, but we're not there now because of the deal that has been sent, which essentially gave Iran immunity to do the sorts of things that we never wanted them to do, but they are doing on their path to a nuclear weapon. I think they've just been empowered by the last agreement. We need to stop that.
All right, well, that deadline quickly approaching, and we will hear from the French leader in a few moments. Certainly, we'll see what he has to say about all of this. Senator, thank you for your time this morning.
Thanks, Sandra.